Hey, it's Drybear. I just finished evaluating all of the purchased options inside of Wuthering Waves. It's something I used to do as my role in a game development role, looking at the monetization structure and how much buying power your currency is worth. And I like doing it in games that generally have some pay-to-win aspects where you can buy progression, buy time, buy convenience, or even buy power. And in this case, for a gacha RPG like Wuthering Waves, it's nice to see which of the purchasing options you have. If you're planning to spend money, whether you're just a minnow, a shark, or a whale, what gives you the most bang for your buck? And without beating around the bush, these are the final results. This is scaled on a logarithmic scale, which means anything below 1 is going to be downward, anything above 1 is going to be going upward. And what that means is that anything below a value of 1 means that you're losing money, you're losing value by buying it. And there's currently only 2 packs in the game for Wuthering Waves that meet this criteria: the Sage's EXP Aid and the Traveler's EXP Aid. So this is kind of like the upfront. Let's talk about the meat of this, the meat and potatoes, so we can understand the graph. So inside of WuWa, there's plenty of currencies, but they do have the traditional premium currency and soft currency. What that means in free-to-play microtransaction games is that the premium currency is the currency that you have to spend real money to obtain. There's no way to earn it in game. There's no way to unlock it in game. You have to convert real currency of the real world into this premium currency, which is called Lunite. There's also a soft currency, which is a currency that has high value but can also be earned in game, and that is going to be these, your astrites. There is a 1-to-1 transfer between astrites and Lunites if you wish, and there's also going to be offers that are only for Lunites, which means you have to actually buy these. So the Lunite subscription, the Traveler's EXP Aid, the Sage's EXP Support, Gardener's Aid, Blake Bloom's Aid, and the Blake Bloom's Data Aid are all going to be premium purchases. You have to spend real money in order to acquire these. And of course, we also have the Battle Pass, which is called the Pioneer Podcast in Wuthering Waves. You have a free track for this. This is a Battle Pass, so you're getting these free track items as you progress through the game. And then there's a premium track and a super premium track for the Battle Pass as well, which they're going to call Insider Channel for the premium and Connoisseur Channel for the super premium. This is just going to be some options there. So on the graph, I have all of these packs scaled by how much value they get. The higher the number means the more value that you get from purchasing it, which means that like for $1 of USD or whatever your currency is, use this scalar as a way to determine how much value back you would get. So if we jump back to this graph, it's very obvious that the 2 best purchases you can make in the entire game are going to be the Insider Channel, which is the first premium pack on the Battle Pass, the Pioneer Podcast. That one has the highest value of anything in the game, and that's assuming you get it all the way to the end. So again, the value inherent with Battle Passes, at least from the developer's perspective, is though they're giving you a lot of value, they're also asking you to play the game for long periods of time, which is really big, right? That sort of thing can have its own value entirely. And it's why they're able to offer battle passes, and why they function so well is, especially in these free-to-play games, having people play the game and talk about the game and promote the game is just as valuable in many cases to people buying a small purchase. And so offering the Insider Channel is going to be a great way for them to spend. So if you're getting the Insider Channel and you're only playing a little bit, the value is going to go down based on how much time that you have in the game overall. But in general, if you are planning to get to level 70, and in this game there are weekly limits, you can only get 10,000 XP outside of purchasing for each week, which means you need to be doing it every week and maxing it out every week. But there's plenty of time to finish the Battle Pass if you do it every week and max it out, so that you can get the full value there. So the Insider Channel, which again is the premium pack on the Battle Pass, this Insider Channel here, if you go to the Pioneer Podcast and you unlock Insider Channel, it's this one. This one gives you by far, for USD $9.99, at least in the United States, but elsewhere, this one gives you the most bang for your buck. It is the most valuable item that you can purchase in the game. Now, there is a secondary super premium for the Battle Pass, which is going to be the Connoisseur Channel. What this does is it gives you a special profile sigil. I valued this at 0 because it is a cosmetic item. Generally, in these kind of games, when you can buy power, I tend to evaluate any cosmetics as 0, just because the true value of that cosmetic is going to be subjective. You may like the sigil, which is for your profile picture presentation. You may not. If you don't like it and you're never going to use it, the value of this is 0. If you really like it, then it's only exclusive to this pack and you're going to value that differently. So just to be fair, I just take the 0 out of it. So this is not included in the Connoisseur Channel valuation. But you do get 3 lustrous tides, which are your basic banner pulls. You get 3 of these. Each one of these tides is valued at 160. So there's 3 of those. And then you also get what is essentially a duplicate of the specific Golden Eternal weapons, which is the Battle Pass weapon, the 4-star weapon. You get to raise the Syntony level, which is a duplicate of that without actually getting another weapon. So super valuable there. And you also get 10 podcast levels, which is essentially 1,000 asteroids. So back to this, you can see that the connoisseur channel is down here in the middle. It's at a 4.42, which means it's above average. I would say anything over 2 is worth purchasing if you value it individually. If you're a shark or a minnow, you spend less than $1,000, you would be a shark. If you spend less than $100, you would be a minnow, that sort of thing. So if you're in that range, I would definitely consider any of these from the 4.14 up. So that's the Blake Bloom's Aid, Connoisseur Channel, Gardener's XP Aid, Lunite subscription, and Insider Channel. But if you're kind of towards that bottom end, anything after this would not be worth picking up. The next best after the Insider Channel, which is the first premium level of the Battle Pass, is going to be the Lunite subscription. And again, just like this, where it is time gated, right? You get more value the more you level this up and progress it. The Lunite progression, this pack here, the Lunite subscription, you get value every single day. So right on purchase for $5, you get 300 Lunites, which is the premium currency. And then you also get 90 of the soft currency every single day that you log in. So it's asking you to log in. Takes a couple minutes every day, and you can do it on your phone. So there is value there. It's not as much as the requirement for completing the quests that you have in the Battle Pass, but there is good value here. So outside of the value you get from the Insider Channel, which asks you to do more in game, the Lunite subscription is your next best option. And honestly, if you're a minnow, if you're someone who just wants to spend $5 to $20 on this game, or even just that much monthly, all I would recommend is picking up the Lunite subscription and then picking up the Insider Channel. That's $15 USD, depending on what region you are in. So you'll have those two values there, and then skip everything else, because I think these are going to be the most value returned to you, and also allows you to save up for future banners for limited characters and things that you may want to pick up in the future, so that you can actually be prepared for that. And then the mid tier is going to be the Gardeners, the Blake Blooms, and the Connoisseur Channel. Now keep in mind, the Gardener's EXP aid is 4.72 and the Blake Blooms is 4.14. The thing that you need to know about these specifically, that's this one and this one, the reason these are worth so much more than the others is because these include weapon upgrade materials, which normally would require you to spend your time-gated resource, the wave plates, to acquire these. So it means that you can then spend those wave points on other things like clearing out the bosses, or doing, farming up those kind of upgrade ascension mats, or getting, shell credits or resonance potions, things to level up your weapons or level up your echoes. You don't have to spend your wave plates on it, and that's why it's so valuable. But keep in mind that as we start to get higher and higher union levels to raise our phase level, these are going to start to slowly lose value, right? Because as we get to higher and higher phase values, 25 of the legendary upgrade materials is going to start becoming a little bit more efficient per wave plate that we spend on it to acquire it. So these will drop a little bit, though it won't drop too much. I imagine that, in a couple months that these 4s will probably be around a 3. So it'll still be good value outside of that. So it's still worth looking into. And again, the Connoisseur Channel is the super premium Battle Pass upgrade. So if you want to pick this one up, it is worth it for just that piece, and being able to upgrade the Syntony of your golden weapon can be valuable as well. And by the way, almost all of the golden eternal weapons inside of the Battle Pass are really good. So you can see them here. There's Autumn Trace, Looming Loss, Thunderbolt, Stonard, and Augment. The Augment is kind of like a mini String Master from the Yinlin banner, because it has crit rate on it, which is pretty good. The Autumn Trace also has crit rate, which is excellent for Broadblade users like GN if you don't have his weapon, the Verdant Summit, or even Calcharo if you don't have the legendary weapon on top of that. The Lumbing Loss is good for some characters that can actually build it up with basics and heavies, depending on who you're putting it on. And Thunderbolt is actually great for a lot of the synergy characters like Mortefi in the game to get that lined up on there. So these are all exclusive to Battle Passes. I'm guessing these are going to come back every single Battle Pass. So if you buy every Battle Pass, you'll be able to get duplicates of these, get all of these individually, and also be able to raise up their Syntony level to make them stronger. So it's kind of like a reward system for being part of the game for long periods of time. So these are worth picking up, and even the extra super premium, which allows you to raise the Syntony level on them, is going to be quite good if you plan to use them for a long time, and especially as you start getting more teams. If you get one of the 5-star weapons, then you might want to have the purple one as an extra for another character that uses that same weapon type. Then down at 1.2 8 is Black Bloom's Data. This one is just barely passable, which means that I wouldn't recommend picking it up. That is this one here. It is 600 Lunites. It gives you 150 premium tuners, 4 premium sealed tubes, and 50,000 shell credit. This one just is just barely worth it, so I wouldn't recommend it. So it's really just not all that great, but at least it gives you more than the cost of having to farm these up, the wave plates you'd spend doing the tacit fields to acquire these, or the shell credits here. But this pack is just pretty horrible. And then the ones that take the absolute cake are going to be the Sage's EXP Aid and the Traveler's EXP Aid. These are 100% just whale bait. They are actually, if you look at the value of the items inside of the pack relative to the Lunite cost that you're spending for them, you're actually overspending. You're losing money on the Traveler's EXP Aid and the Sage's EXP Aid. If you were to spend either Astrite or in-game time or wave plates to acquire any of these materials, it would be far more efficient to do it that way than it would be to buy these packs. And so that's why I call them whale bait, because if you're a shark or a minnow, I would stay away from these completely. They're not worth your money. They're not worth your time. They are super inefficient. They're really just for whales that they're going to spend over $1,000 anyway, and they want to be able to get their characters leveled up or get multiple teams leveled up in a short period of time so they can clear hard content. That's what these are really for. So the final end of it is going to be these numbers here. This is the value of it. Again, if you're a minnow, someone who spends just a little bit, like $5 to $25 a month, go get the insider channel, max it out if you can, get the Lunite subscription, log in every day, and then stop there. If you're a shark and you want to spend $100 to $300 or something like that, like $30 to $150, and you want to spend a little bit to get some progress, then consider picking up the Gardener's EXP Aid and the Blake Bloom's Aid, and then you can pick up the Connoisseur channel as well. And this value goes up if you care about the sigil that's inside of that pack. Anything outside of that, if you're a whale, you can consider these bottom ones, but otherwise I would steer clear of them. And what we'll do is we'll check back in when we get the version 1.1, which will likely have resets, other new content, and new bonuses to see how those stack up relative. So there you go. If you found value in today's video, leave a like down below, leave a comment for the algorithm to help this video get seen by more people. And don't forget to check out my other channels for other content and other stuff and other things.